root word for service is from servant. I hope you all know. So as long as you are providing service, you are at that point some form of servant to those other guys. So you treat it like where the servant knows that his master is wrong. What does he do? Do you tell the master, okay, you don't know what they talk, you have no idea, or how do you manage the situation? So yes, customers can be wrong, but as long as you are there to provide service, you must manage them like a servant. And that's why they also said customer is king. So you manage them like a servant, because they are the king at that point, and try to get the right thing done without turning out rude, without turning out improper, without missing the fact that you are there to serve that person. So I've gone all around. Customers can be wrong, but as long as you are there to serve them, you must serve them and serve them.
Thank you. Can we please put our hands together? I really wanted that explanation. I thought we'd say customers are always right, but it did justice to that. Now, have you ever had doubts? Is the branch manager, one of the branch managers of SCMB Bank. So have you ever had doubts on your capability or capacity as a branch manager, especially when we were told about your promotion?
Yes, I had all types of doubts when I was made a branch manager for the first time. That was in I got the letter at the end of 2014 with effect from 1st of January 2015. And I had all manners of doubts because it was, at that time I was working in a bank that I loved so much called Diamond Bank. Some of you know Diamond Bank. Then I was working in Diamond Bank. And there was a branch in our region that was not doing well at all. In fact, the bank was making him to shut down the branch at the time. And then it had a history of swallowing any branch manager that went there. Swallowing in the sense of when you go there, you work or they sack you. Hey, you go home. So I was made branch manager and posted to that branch. That's why I had the doubts, because I looked at all the people who had managed the branch before me and how they had been exited from there, all for performance-related reasons. I had my doubts. My friends came to me and said, "Oh boy, wait till you do, okay? What did you do?" It's like they're, trying to show you the way out. I said, well, I don't remember doing anything, but let me find out. So I went to our regional head and said, look, I don't understand this. Said, well, it's an upliftment. You're moving. I want to move, but not moving here. So I had those doubts, serious doubts. The man is someone who I also consider a mentor, my regional head at the time. His name is, nowadays, Pastor Dele Balogun. Some of you might know him. Oh, someone, I see a thumbs up. Yes, that was like us at the time. He's a man of God. So he started like a man of God without a microphone, because we were face to face. And, tried to let me know why he was making that decision and why I needed to take it, and why I needed to understand the responsibility, and why he was sure I could do well. And with all the doubts, I took the challenge. And so many things, that's not what we're here to discuss. But I was the first branch manager who wasn't sacked from that place. So I came out after all the ups and downs. I came out of that place. I left that place successful, profitable. I don't want to discuss banking, but a balance sheet size that had tripled from when I came there and all that. So yes, that was to come. How you face them, how you jump at them is what matters. If you have someone who, like Dele Balogun, Pastor Dele would sit you down and try to convince you that these challenges, though they look real, are not real, these doubts, you can surmount them. Then, thank God, you work at it.
I think that's a perfect team, a perfect example. I believe that's a perfect example of our theme. If you set your heart to it, you can achieve it. Well, what's your biggest challenge so far as a manager heading a branch?
So you said, what is my biggest challenge? Some months back, our former President Muhammad Buhari, was asked about the Nigerian people, and he said, we criticized him, or we were all shouting. He said it was easier for him to manage his cattle, his cows, than to manage Nigeria. How many of us remember that? He said that we were shouting all over the news, like comparing us with cows and all that. But my own biggest challenge, like Buhari, was managing the people that work with you. Because as a branch manager, you head the team. And you need everyone to, walk along with the team, connect with your vision, and run with it to achieve what you want to achieve as a team. So it's always very challenging to have the people understand, what you're trying to do, run with it, and help achieve that. So I found as a big challenge, or maybe my biggest, getting everyone in line, getting everyone in line as the head of the team. It's a challenge, especially in Nigeria. I don't know human beings. I don't know, some of us here said are like that. with all respect, but so that is it, and it's a challenge that every leader needs to find creative ways of working around. Someone once gave me an analogy. He said, when you are leading a team, you're like the bus driver. Your other team members are sitting in the bus. All of you are going to somewhere. You as the driver, you know precisely where you are going to. Those ones at the bus, all of them know where they are going to also. Some of them don't necessarily want to go with you to that place you are going to in that port. Some of them, they are going to Google. Some of them want to stop at Miambo Junction, but they've not told you yet. It's when you are reached Miambo Junction, they tell you, "Okay, I'm stopping here." So they're not connected. All of you are not going there. But you know that this is where you are driving that team or that business to. So I found it a bit challenging, but our work is to surmount challenges.
Have you ever experienced lapses in your decision making as a manager? If yes, how do and what such?
Yes, lapses are part of life. You just pray that whatever lapses you meet are not very costly for you. If you walk through your whole career, your whole work, your whole business, and you don't see lapses, challenges, you must be very lucky. Just pray that they are not those ones that will lead you to, that will crash you completely. So yes, I've experienced some of them in the course of my business. We do a whole lot of things, but I mean in the bank we do a whole lot of things. But one of the things you try to do and get right is maybe you are lending, you are giving out loans. You can give a loan to a very bad person who came to take the money and run. So sometimes I consider that as a serious lapse. You think you've done all the work, you've done all the brain work, you put everything in place, and you still find that you're having challenges with this person, and the person has your money. Well, it's a problem. But yes, I've experienced those lapses. Let me not drag this. They come.
All right.
Yeah.
We all know the economy is very friendly at this moment. You go to the market today, you buy something of maybe 100 naira. The next minute you go, it's like triple the price of what you had saying it the previous day. So I want to ask, most organizations refuse to increase salaries of their staff and all that. So how do you encourage your staff to keep on with the job, since the hike in the economy and salaries are not increased? So in this situation, how do you encourage your staff to keep on?
Okay. So first things first. If you are an employer here, please, I beg you, and you not done anything to your staff since Tinubu came in May. Please, I beg you, try and that's not the question, but it's a charge to you all. Try and look for what you up in their pay so that they can, remain a bit more committed. However, I know that salary is not the primary source of motivation in the workplace. I know that for sure. It can be very challenging where the take home does not take you home, like they say, but it's not the primary source of motivation. And as a branch manager, I'm not in charge of managing people's salaries. We have human resource units that run that. So I don't bother myself too much about that in my own workspace. I bother myself about the other ways of getting people motivated. So my advice to all of us would be, your pay in your establishment is not entirely your hand. All right? So first of all, look at those other areas that help you remain motivated in your workplace. That will help you, will help your motivation level at a time like this. But if the pay is a serious challenge for you, then you must also look for how to grow your income by yourself. Some people call it side hustle. That is why. You asked me why I have moved banks. Every time I've moved it from one bank to the other, I've got a pay increase. If I sit back and the thing is not working, and I have something to offer you, and you want me, if I go to you, I get it. So there are different ways of trying to increase your income by yourself while you're at work. So it's important we also look for how to increase our income by ourselves. But remember that the pay is not the primary source of motivation. Those of you, I'm a banker, I'm not a motivational speaker. And I can see one motivational man sitting in front of me. You will know better about this, but I can tell you for sure, if you want to keep motivated at what you do, it's not all about the pay. There are so many things that will help you, which I'm not here to read out. But also look for how on your own to keep, to improve your income. And then we call it, is it tightening your belt here in Nigeria, or structural adjustment? Aha. So if you were eating 2 grains of rice, maybe you might want to eat 1.5 grain, as long as it keeps you going. Those are little things we need to keep motivated at a time like this. But I beg all of you, if you have employees, help them and help yourself too. Thank you.
God bless you, sir. So aside, please. So aside being a banker or having a career in this banking industry, you have other tricks in life that you like to personally operate in at the morning?
Yes, I have dreams. I have many dreams. I have a passion for education. So one of my dreams, which I'm already working on anyway, there may be people here who know that part of myself, but which I'm already working on anyway. But I have a dream in that direction. I know that the industry I work in is not very friendly. We have a high turnover, so we work and we know that tomorrow will not be there. I don't even own any bank myself, so I have those dreams and I'm pursuing them. Even from now, it will be disastrous if I start pursuing my dreams when I'm out of the bank. All right, so I have so many dreams. I don't know if you're asking me to share them with you. But I'm no, never watched them. But they are there. They are there. Maybe I can share with you one on one.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right, can we please put our hands together for it? I don't know if you've learned something first. Let's ask them. And then we'll take like 3 questions from the audience. If you have any question for you, please. Just raise your hand. The MC will.
If you have a question to ask, thank you, sir. Let me give you a brief response with 2. Don't really ask. Thank you, just touch. Okay, for example, sir, and someone raises at 2, okay, 2, 3. That's depending on those lectures.
Absolutely.
Yes. We did it well. I think the great mention of pursuing a career in masters in life microbiology. And you are still in banking sector. So I want to know when do you intend to maybe focus on your studied course? So do you understand?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. We respond to that immediately, bro.
Okay. You just tell me how you want me to do it. I
Just
can
go with this so that we don't.
go with this.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I mentioned that I got into banking as a result of the Nigerian Factor. You know what I mean? And one of the people sitting on that your table was my staff in one of the banks I worked. You're pointing at her, don't point it. One of the banks I worked, she worked under me. I was her supervisor at the time. So so first of all, microbiology is not something I intend to practice. So I'm not going to practice microbiology. I don't intend to do that. I'm not going to wear any lab coats. I'm not going to draw any blood. I'm not going to. I did my undergraduate project I was taking samples of feces from domesticated poultry. So I was going to poultry farms, abattoir, people that had dogs in their house and taking their dog shit. I'm not doing that any longer. So I'm not foreseeing anything in microbiology, but the quality is there. However, when I did my master's, my supervisor at the time, Professor Omuliri, tried all his best to convince me to go in for a PhD in microbiology. Unfortunately for him, I was already in the bank, and I thought I had a very good career in the bank, so I wasn't interested also. So I don't intend to pursue that one. The microbiology is off the table. I mentioned that I have a dream in education, and I'm going to also delve into that side. Early childhood education, all right? Young children, teenagers, and that's where we'll go to. I've already started that direction. I also have a degree in education. I don't think to mention that. So that's where we're going to pursue our dream, and we're already at it. So leave microbiology. I'm not going there.
Thank you so much, sir. Hopefully, next year will that. Anyway, I support you. I agree with you, sir. We can't be saying money and later be saying you need and physics. It's not.
You get that CP now.
God bless us all. So my question is, since you studied microbiology as your course in the university, how were you able to even get a job in the banking sector up to the point of being a tax manager? Do you have to study another course on the side outside school before you were able to get a certificate? Or I don't know how you applied to get the job in the banking sector. Did you do a bridge course? So
Okay, that's interesting. You know, I mentioned maybe for the upteenth time, I'll talk about the Nigerian Factor. When we were coming into banking, I remember when I was doing my NYSC, you sit with your fellow coppers, you say, oh boy, Oceanic Bank, they do test. Let's go and write. Whether they invited you or they didn't invite you, all of you rush there. You go and write aptitude test. Results come out. Some will pass, some will fail. They will say, oh boy, so and so company, they are doing tests. You will apply. Some they will invite you, you go. That's what we're doing. And then the first bank I worked was Echo Bank. Not this Echo Bank you know now. The main Echo Bank that bought Tochukwu Bank, that one. That's where I worked. So that's how we went in and wrote aptitude tests and passed. They say you pass. Okay. What next? They call you for interview. You go and do interview now. They say they like you. You ask them, are you sure? They say they like you. I see you. I read microbiology. They say, oh, but we like you. You did well. Then before you know what's happening, they give you a job. They give you an offer. Call you to training school. So at that time, and I think even now, the banks are not very particular about, what you specialize in. They are particular about, do you have a degree? A good degree? I mean, there are certain grades that they don't accept. So you have that degree. Are you of age? They prefer younger people, your age. When you come for your interview, are you smart? Are you a sharp guy? I mean, from their feeders. With all that, you can come in. When you come in, what you do from there is now up to you. So I don't have a degree in banking, not one. Don't tell my employers, but even the banking, we are just putting food on the table. Don't go and tell them, oh, go ahead. But the truth is, I don't have any degree in banking, and I don't intend to. But I've gone for several courses in banking. Several. I can't list all of them today now, but I've gone for several courses in banking. I'm a member of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria. And I'm giving my employers the numbers. Like I said, there's someone in this room who has worked under me before, so maybe we can ask about the numbers. The banks like the numbers. So you are asked to deliver 10 in number, you deliver 14, and you read microbiology. They will prefer you to the guy that was asked to deliver 10, and he delivered 4, and read banking and finance. What are they doing with the guy? They should go with his banking and finance. So, whatever your hand finds to do it. That's it.
Thank you so much, sir. Can we put your hands together one more time? So the last question before. Wow, I'm really impressed with you, sir. Microbiologist, just mega banker. Well, my question is concerning you working in Diamond Bank. I remember when you said that there was a particular branch that a lot of managers were fired in that branch, and you went to that branch. So I just want you to tell us, not details, but just give us a brief of what you did that was different from what the other people did and couldn't make that branch actually grow to the numbers we're talking about. Because there's a saying that if you keep on doing the same thing, you get the same result. So that means you did something different. So can you tell us what exactly were those different things that you put in place when you got to one branch?
Okay, so your question is borderline from where I am supposed to dwell, because at bankers we are sworn to a code of confidentiality with regards to some details. So I will not come here and mention any names, customer names, business names, and all that, which, to answer your question properly, it would be helpful for me to do that. But I don't know what the people before me did. Okay? But I know that from the day I was posted to that branch, I thought I had been given my termination letter. It was just a matter of time. So it's like a drowning man, a man who feels he's already drowning. How is he going to come out of that? Okay, the branch I'm talking about at that time I don't know what the branch is now. At that time, many years back, is the Diamond Bank that was inside the University of Jos at that time. Okay, so that's the only name I'm going to call. And I just looked at the opportunities that were there. We had opportunities within the campus, we had opportunities outside of the campus, we had challenges of, for example, those days there used to be a lot of strikes. When the university goes on strike, sometimes they will even lock the gate. So your customers can't even come in to transact with you because they'll lock the gate, they are on strike. Those that want to come on foot, they can't walk from the gate of the university to where the location of the branch is. And the taxis will leave, students have gone home, all the taxis will go. Pedestrian customers can't come in to meet you. Those with cars, the gate is locked, they can't come in. You can stay 6 months pretty much locked out of your branch. You yours, they will allow you enter. You come in and sit down, all your staff cross leg and really, those were some. We had a lot of those kind of challenges, and so it was tasking. So I identified all those challenges, and I asked myself how I was going to surmount them. The first thing I did, I told myself that I was not going to be a manager in that place. I was going to be an account officer because I had just come out of being an account officer. So I relocated from my office and I sat on the floor with the guys on the floor. I wasn't going to sit in an office with a chair and turn my chair and you come because nobody was going to come. We were going to hit the market together, and I was more experienced than the guys on the floor. So we all went, and I told them, I earn more than you. Don't worry, if I'm sitting with you, it doesn't reduce my salary. Hey, I'll still, on the payday, I'll still. So we hit the market, and that's how we were doing with the market. And then I realized that I couldn't even be coming to run from that place. I started running from town, convincing people because we had a strike at the time, convincing people to transact from other branches within town. So we did a lot of things. Like I said, I have code of confidentiality. I'll not give you details of what we do because that will mean saying things I'm not supposed to say in public domain. Before I will tell them your account balance now. So thank you, but I think I've tried to lay it out.
The next description is like going the extra mile.
Okay.
I was like, the best description to say that is like going the extra mile, doing what you can to achieve whatever target or purpose you needed to achieve at the time.
Yes. Yeah, so that's right. I went the extra mile. Although there was one taxi driver who took a passenger, and when the passenger got to the stop where he was to stop, taxi was still going. The man was shouting. Taxi said, "No, I'm going the extra mile." So it's not that type of mile.
All right, please, can we put our hands together for Mr. Tochukwu Onubogu?
Thank you so much for the opportunity, sir.